So the caller is Nick. And I do remember him calling when I believe Professor Dave was on. And I was on as well. And I like to talk about veganism. And Nick wants to talk about veganism and wants to hear what your views are on veganism. So if we can get the producers to get the call going, then we'll take it. Okay, working on it. Working on it.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Hey, Nick, how are you doing? Good to hear back. Good to hear
I'm
from you
doing
again.
great. Nice to talk to you again. Great talking to you again. So yeah, I just wanted to, kind of in the spirit of like, helping children. Um, I just wanted to kind of put a plea out there for the other vulnerable beings that aren't human, but arguably are even more vulnerable than children are because they're not even protected by laws, and those are from being killed and used for trivial human needs, and those are of course non-human animals. So, so I guess I want to ask if Seth, if you've thought any more about it. I heard a conversation that you had with my friend Chip about 5 months ago on the topic a little bit. I think it was a nice conversation. I think at the end you felt like he pushed that he might have pushed you too hard, but I think what he was trying to do is just sort of give you sort of motivation by helping you with some framing devices to kind of recognize urgency and such. Because sometimes it's very hard for people to kind of get to really do what their values tell them they should do because of that. And it's helpful to frame their minds in such a way to. Anyway, that's what I think he was trying to do. But I was just wondering if you thought any more about it, and
I don't remember if he was pushy. Maybe he was. It seems like at the end of the call, he'd made his point, but he kept making it and making it. I think he was wanting me to make a declarative statement, and I was like, "Thanks for calling." I mean, I get it. We're all adults here. I'm not a vegan. Right now, my big fight is against suffering. The idea of harvesting meat, to me, I've gone back and forth on it. I haven't come to the vegan point in my life. It's funny, we were having a conversation about lab grown meat. And I was talking to some friends. I'm like, I love the idea. Like, let's grow meat in a lab. And they just thought it was horrifying. Frankenfood, we're all going to grow a second head and, it's going to be radioactive or whatever. But that kind of thing I really do like. And so am I currently a vegan? No. Am I opposed to the idea of my own life? No. But I'm not there yet. So
I'm also a big fan of the idea of lab grown meat. I think we have so many what we can call food like substances already, right? That is it's not what one would consider whole foods. And we eat them every day. We drink them every day. I'm drinking a soda right now and I'm a vegan and I'm like, okay, drinking this crap. All right. So I'm okay with eating lab grown meat.
It's funny. This is a digression. I had somebody say the other day that they refuse to eat anything with chemicals. I'm like, well, good luck with that, because everything is chemicals, right?
Yeah.
Everything is chemicals. But anyway, that's a bunny trail that I'm not going to take any further. So
those are all very healthy opinions. I like all those things you guys said. But I guess when it comes to and I of course, yeah, obviously, I love the fact that there's gonna be lab grown meat available to people to help people kind of transition from their cravings for animal flesh. Actually, not even have to transition for it, but do it in a way that's not exploitative. I think that's great. That's a great step. But I think that for each of us in our individual lives, I think when it's helpful to kind of to like recognize that it's not really enough, even if you could kill the animals and like, as you put it, harvest, which is, it's a euphemism. You have to, admit it's like, I mean, you can harvest plants, but like harvesting an animal, I mean, you're taking the life of someone who doesn't want to die at a very young age for your consumption and just taking everything from them. So that's what it is. And And I guess like if we don't need to do that, I think taking their life, even if it's painless, it still takes their future. All the future joyful experiences they'll ever have are gone. Uh, shouldn't it be like a more prerogative for us to look out for their interests, especially because they are so vulnerable?
I don't think that's unfair at all. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a good answer for you. I my entire life have, again, I go back and forth. Do I see animals? Have I seen animals right or wrong as a resource? Okay. Um, but I also take your point that a life is being ended, and I haven't come to a satisfactory answer on that. So, but I haven't come to the point where I'm ready to be vegan yet. But it's worth considering, and I will continue to have those conversations in my own life. But I'm not going to make it here right now. No.
Yeah,
Right.
I want
Get
to
into your.
actually.
Oh, sorry, Andrew. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
I wanted to say one thing to that, and it is that there are currently certain laws that protect animals, and I've seen a couple more coming up. It was just a few days ago. I can't remember exactly what country it was. They made protections for bees. Bees.
for bees.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like to keep
Um,
them from being eradicated, or
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
uh,
It was to they were not endangered or anything. It was just a very specific type of bees um, that they determine could experience suffering, and so I'm sure it will lead to other types of bees being protected in the same way. But if they are determining that bees can suffer pain, then we can assume that other bigger animals do as well. Well, not based on size. I'm just saying like mammals, for example, right?
yeah, I mean that's certainly true. Though I think it's also worthwhile to recognize that there are meaningful distinctions between what we know about insects' capacity to experience love and joy, and like the animals that are typically farmed, like the birds and the mammals, the chickens, the pigs, the cows. I mean, we know so much now about their deep inner lives and rich internal experiences that um, and I think that we don't have that same information for these other insects. Not for insects. But that isn't to say that we should exploit them either. But you know, but we also have to recognize in our lives we are going to have an impact and be harming other animals and other humans too when just living. But the question is whether we are using these other beings or not. And I think we can eliminate that. I think that sort of should be kind of a ground zero for kind of being kind of a morally decent person. So you're not lethally using anybody, and then who you help is also very important. But you know what I mean? I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
and
Yeah, I
you've said
am.
it effectively. So.
Yeah, and I'm of the opinion that while I will love for many people to go vegan, right, for the animals, that I don't think it's reasonable to expect the entire world to do so. There are so many people that have um, much lower access to food than we do, in a big city. Like I live in Houston. I can just go down the street and get any type of food I want. But there are people that live in food deserts. There are people that live in completely isolated areas or rural areas, or there's tribes that live completely separate from the entire society. They don't even allow anybody to come in contact with them. They're protected. And they do live from the land, from the sea, from whatever they can gather and hunt. So we can't really expect the entirety of the world to go vegan. Can we reduce the amount of meat we eat? Yes. Can we make better choices in how we obtain that meat? Absolutely. So factory farming is definitely um, a pretty awful thing. So, anyways, Thank you, Nick, for a great conversation. Did you have anything else you wanted to add or ask?
No, I think that's good. I mean, I'm not going to do the whole like. I mean, the sort of questions that were asked at the Chip asked at the end of the last call. These are the kind of the ones that kind of frame someone in terms of the urgency of the situation by trying kind of these devices to look at things from the victim's point of view. But I'm not going to do that because the conference is over. But if you want to see the end of that conversation, it's worth going to Chase Avier's channel and looking for it. So it's a good conversation also. Anyway, thank you very much. I enjoyed talking to you, Seth, and nice talking to you also, AJ.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for the call. I think I love how passionate people can be about certain things, right? But there is so much going on in the world, and there are so many causes, and every single person cannot do for every single cause. So we choose the ones that we can do something about. Like today, we're raising funds for childhood cancer, right? Because it is what we can do on this day. I at this moment I cannot go and donate to every charity that I wish I could donate to, or give my time to, or volunteer for. So we do what we can, when we can, how we can.